Do you ever feel completely confused by an avoidant partner? One moment they seem to care, the next they're distant, especially when things get intense or an argument breaks out. Instead of leaning in and actually resolving it, they retreat. They grow quiet, they shut down, or they get defensive. And it's really easy to wonder, if they love me, why won't they try harder to fix our relationship? On the surface, it can look cold or even heartless, but what's happening inside an avoidant has far less to do with you or how much they care about you, and everything to do with the way their nervous system learned to survive. So let's break it down in today's video. Here are 5 reasons why an avoidant doesn't chase and what that means for you. First, they often assume that you need space. We project what we want onto other people, and in the avoidance world, avoiding conflict or sweeping it under the rug feels like the path to peace. They assume that it's best to give you space because that's what they would want. They would want to be left alone and given space to think, and they truly believe that stepping back will calm everything down, and that continuing the conversation will only lead to a bigger argument or escalation, which then leads me on to my second point. Learned helplessness. Many avoidants grew up in environments where speaking up never changed the outcome. Maybe they asked for help and were ignored, or expressed feelings only to be dismissed or punished. Because conflict at home was never resolved, only ever ignored or exploded, they developed a deep discomfort around conflict, thinking that it's something to be avoided at all costs. And eventually, they internalize the belief, well, why should I bother? It's not going to help. It's just going to make it worse. Many avoidants don't trust that repair actually works. So they stop trying, not because they don't care, but because they feel powerless to make things better. This belief shows up as distance or withdrawal. This learned helplessness makes them passive rather than proactive in relationships. So if you're waiting for them to come up with solutions or fix issues in the relationship, then it's very unlikely that they are going to be proactive about it. It's just not how they have been conditioned. One of the biggest reasons why avoidants don't chase is very simple. Their default is to suppress their feelings. They've spent an entire lifetime containing their emotions, often without anyone modeling how to express them safely. And therefore, when a big feeling comes up, it overwhelms them. They're not used to it. They don't know how to deal with it. How it feels to them is kind of like pressure building up in a soda bottle. And they're like, oh my gosh, I need to put a lid on this because they're afraid it's going to explode. And in fact, I've had many avoidants tell me that they want to say something, they have something to say. When they go to say it, nothing actually comes out. It's like a wall comes up and the mask slips back on and they appear nonchalant even though they're not actually inside. And these same avoidants ask me, why am I like that? Why is it so hard for me to express my emotions? So here's the takeaway from that. It's not that they don't care. Their nervous system is simply trying to survive the intensity of the emotion, and pulling back is their automatic safety mechanism. It is how their mind and body cope when they don't have the skills to regulate their feelings. Avoidants are secret control freaks. On the surface, they may seem cool as a cucumber, but underneath, they're obsessed with needing control over their environment. This is because they haven't yet healed the childhood wound of feeling powerless, making them very afraid of giving someone else the reins, because that's a very vulnerable place to be in. Pursuing you feels like exposing weakness or giving up control. But when you chase them, they feel secure because they're in charge. They're the one dictating the pace and the outcome of the relationship. But if they were to chase you, suddenly that dynamic flips. You're the one calling the shots. They feel exposed, they feel powerless, they feel anxious. So they withdraw. It's their way of saying, I am protecting myself. I cannot let myself lose control or be consumed. Avoidants have a very low tolerance for drama in relationships. They do not like chaos or emotional intensity. What they really want in a relationship is peace and quiet. They're not used to doing emotional labor. They're not used to talking about their emotions. It's all very foreign to them, and that's why they find it so draining and so exhausting when they do need to talk about their feelings. A lot of the times they're like, well, why do we have to talk about it? It's so draining, so let us just leave it and move on. That's why avoidants tend to show love in small ways, like making your morning coffee, fixing things around the house, dropping you off at the doctor's appointment, doing little things that show and signal care, because that is love to them. If you are waiting for an avoidant to chase you and do some kind of grand romantic gesture, it is probably not going to happen. Their distance is not proof that you're unlovable or that they don't love you. It is a protective strategy built in childhood. Your role is not to fix them, but to focus on the things that you can control, your own healing and your own boundaries. Ultimately, a healthy relationship requires two people that are willing to grow, not just one person doing all of the emotional heavy lifting. So I hope this video was helpful. If you want my support to help you heal, click the link below to apply for a free discovery call. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.